Am I the asshole for not getting my SIL a baby shower gift after she wouldn't take my handmade one? Due to financial challenges, I am currently broke right now. This coincided with my sister-in-law's baby shower. It's the first baby born to any of my siblings, so it's a big to-do. I had money set aside but had to use it to cover some unexpected expenses that came up with my car. By the time I got things sorted and got around to the registry, the smaller items were gone and all that was left were the big-ticket ones of $100+ which honestly I can't afford. But I can knit pretty well and have a yarn stash, so in downtime between work and general life I knitted up a baby blanket for my new niece. I did pick up some smaller items too, pacifiers, some of those little texture books and whatnot. I was working a double the night of the shower, so I didn't get to go, so the weekend after I swung by my brother's place and gave the blanket and small items to them. My sister-in-law was peeved and gave me back the blanket for being the wrong color. It was a deep navy blue yarn and I guess it's a boy's color, whatever. I was annoyed, but one of my friends had a baby recently, so I decided I'd give it to her. I left the smaller items and went home a little miffed, but whatever. Few days pass and my brother calls and says my sister-in-law is asking what I'm planning to get them so they can start planning the nursery layout. I was just sorta like what the fuck and pointed out that I had already given them my gift and his wife gave it back. Won't get into the whole convo, but basically they said I went off the registry, so they're still expecting something from me since I'm the uncle. Most of the small big ticket items are now gone, so I really honestly can't afford anything left on the registry. I asked about the smaller items I gave them and my brother said his wife said those didn't count. They asked for gifts off the registry, or I could make a blanket with the right colors. Told my brother that hell no, I wasn't making another blanket. Between work it took me almost a month to make that blanket and I used up 90% of my infrequent downtime to make it. Mom says they're right. I'm not supposed to give them something off the registry, and as immediate family I should buy them something they asked for. Dad's stance is, "Why are you as a grown-ass man knitting?" And sister-in-law is giving me the cold shoulder. Brother is IDEC at this point. Says he's sorry but asking me to give in just to make it go away. I don't have any clue how any of this baby shower stuff works, so am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You gave a gift. They didn't want it. Obligation and generosity on your part was met. It's rude as fuck to hand someone their gift back. And it's absolutely never appropriate to demand a new gift after rejecting a completely reasonable gift. Wrong color is not a reason to be in awe. And babies do not care what color a blanket is. If you can't afford something on the registry, then a similar present to cheaper items or a homemade gift is fine. Heck, any gift is exactly that. A gift. No one is entitled to gifts. There is absolutely zero things that you need to apologize for, and I'm sorry your SIL and brother are so ridiculous as humans. Or that your parents clearly have taught y'all all that any of this is even remotely normal as behavior. Not the asshole. The hand-knitted blanket should have meant much more than something generic from a list. She called you up to demand another gift. The smaller gifts don't count, and she won't use a blue blanket because it's a boy color? What is wrong with these people? Do not get these entitled people anything more. Not the asshole. You made them a nice gift. They should have just graciously accepted. Don't get them anything. And tell your dad to get his head out of his rectum. If your parents are so upset, they can get something on your behalf. Bam. Problem solved. Let's see how they like paying for $100 items. Baby blanket is cute. They're lost. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Tell them you can't afford the expensive stuff and you made a labor of love gift that she returned. So, that's that. As for your dad, tell him knitting is an excellent form of meditation and creation. Not the asshole, but your sister-in-law is a huge awe. First of all, who cares about the color of the blanket? The fact that you even know how to knit and took the time to lovingly make a blanket for your niece is amazing. I had family members crochet or knit blankets for my kids when they were born, and they are now treasured keepsakes to be passed down to the next generation. Am I the asshole for making my boyfriend cry after I corrected him in front of his family? Hi, so my boyfriend, 22, and I, 22F, have been having a really rocky few weeks. I started a new job and I work with kids and I'm exhausted when I come home from work, so I normally do homework and then game for a little. My boyfriend's been on this thing about how I never help out at this apartment or with the dog, which is fair. I definitely don't clean as much as I should, but I probably pick up the kitchen twice a week and let the dog out once a day. I always make sure his food and water dishes are full. I work 11-hour shifts, by the way, and get up at 5 a.m. He doesn't work. and plays video games literally all day long. He doesn't wake up until 11 and then he's on when I get home and he sure as hell on when I go to bed. We just got back from his family dinner, and he was complaining to his mom about how he didn't know getting a girlfriend meant adopting a child, my dog, and he was tired of looking after the dog. I told him it's funny, he says he takes care of him when his food and water bowl were empty, when one left and empty when I came home, and the dog ate and drank like his life depended on it. He said he fed him. He definitely didn't. Then he said I do a lot of other things. And I said like what, walk him? Take him potty? Because he has accidents all the time but never on the weekend when I'm home. He started stammering and saying he did a lot with the house, and I sorta just snapped and told him I could see him on games for 12 hours a day while I worked to provide for us. He didn't say anything, just got up and left. His mom said she was sorry, and if I needed help to let her know. His dad said I'm being too hard and I'm going to drive him away. Edit. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. I think I'm a jerk because of the harshness and environment this conversation happened in. I heard him crying and he's completely stonewalling me, and I'm getting really guilty about embarrassing him in front of his parents. Edit 2. Please stop saying my dog needs to be rehomed lol. I normally put water in his dish in the mornings and food. Just not today because I was running late. My issue is with my boyfriend claiming to do things that I do or he just doesn't do. I walk the dog after work. I run him hard on the weekends, he gets playtime and he's healthy. I promise the dog is happy lol. He didn't have food for one day, and my boyfriend happened to comment on how hard it was to take care of a dog, so I called him out. I'm not even feeding him the one day I missed. His dad said I'm being too hard and I'm going to drive him away. I believe the phrase is, don't threaten me with a good time. Not the asshole. Why make the effort to drive him away? End the relationship now and hire a dog walker. Not the asshole. The truth needed to be said. He needs to step up his contributions and or stop complaining about you. Not the asshole. His dad's just worried you're gonna dump him and he'll be their problem again, I bet. Not the asshole. His dad said you're going to drive him away? I see no downside. Not the asshole for calling him out, but I'm more bothered by the idea that you know he hasn't been feeding or watering the dog or letting him out or caring for him while you're away 12 hours a day and you haven't already addressed it with him? That's some serious shish, t. To leave your dog every day with someone who leaves him without food and water. Am I the asshole for throwing away my diary? I, 14F, like to write in my diary every day. It is a pink notebook and it is shiny and I like looking at it. I had a crush on my classmate, 14M. And he is cute, but I am too shy to tell him my feelings, so I wrote it in my diary for like a few weeks saying how cute he is and how fast he is at running and etc. I am good at math and I was paired with him for one lesson, so I taught him some stuff and tried to be professional. So I don't let him know I like him, but it made me very happy. My mom found out and asked me about him and I said, how did you know? And she said she read my diary. And also told my dad. At that point I was upset, but I don't know how to tell them that, so I just said he's just a classmate and I'll go study now, bye. The next day when I went to school I threw my diary away at the trash outside the school before I walked in, like there is a big trash thing at the bus stop, so I threw it in there. When I came back home from school my mom asked me where I kept my diary and I said I lost it, and she got angry at me. She said I want to keep secrets from her and she just wants to know what is happening at school. I said I don't want to write in a diary anymore and she got even angrier. Now I don't know what to do. I asked my form teacher about it and she said I should keep the diary in a more safe place and understand I cannot write on it anymore. She also said I should go to her if I feel bad. But I didn't think about keeping it safe elsewhere. AITA. Not the asshole. Just because you're young doesn't mean you don't have the right to privacy. Diaries are private and your mom didn't have the right to read it. If she wants to know what's going on at school she could have asked you. Not the asshole. A diary is for writing private thoughts down in. You didn't appreciate your mom snooping into your private thoughts and put an end to it. She doesn't get to force you to do so though. She can stay mad. Not the asshole. Reading your child's diary is a surefire way to lose their trust, and the fact that she was upfront about it shows she didn't care about invading your space. Not the asshole. But I am more passive-aggressive. I would have kept it and only written trivial bullshit in it after writing a long entry about how, today my mom asked me questions about something she could have only learned by invading my privacy. I feel incredibly betrayed and hurt. If she insists on you having another diary, only include trivial crap in it like, oh, I have so much homework for this class. I am disappointed that I will miss a couple of extra hours with friends because I have to do it. Really enjoyed the weather today, it was lovely, or whatever. Not the asshole. She's only mad 'cause she can't keep reading it. Not the asshole. Your mom is being an asshole, and frankly you're allowed to not tell your mom things. You're a teenager. You're going to want some level of privacy, like any other person with autonomy. She needs to accept that. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay my daughter's tuition after she lied about her major? I'll keep this short. My daughter, who is 19, told me she was going to college to major in computer science. I was ecstatic about this because she's been set on majoring in illustration. For years I've been trying to talk her out of it. I know she loves illustration, but it is extremely hard to get a steady job out of that. I wanted her to do something she could be successful in. I want her to have a wider range of opportunities. As it turns out, she lied to me. She's majoring in illustration. She got some mail about some art exhibition at her school. I thought nothing of it at first because I knew she was a computer science major. After looking into it a bit more, I found out her work was chosen to be displayed in the exhibition. I was furious. I've spent tens of thousands of hard-earned money for computer science. That's what we agreed on. I told her she can do what she wants, but I will not support her. She can pay for it herself or get her mother to pay. Or she could begin to pay me back for the money she stole from me, interest-free. My wife said I'm being unreasonable. That she's only 19 and asking her to pay for her own tuition is asking too much of her. I didn't think it was as I agreed to pay for her to study computer science, nothing else. I was also giving her a chance to make what she did right. I was deceived and my money was going towards something I had no say in. Now my wife and daughter are upset with me. I'm starting to reflect and think maybe I could have been nicer about the situation. I found out her work was chosen to be displayed in the exhibition. I was furious. This is heartbreaking and I hope this post opens your eyes a bit. You are the asshole. You are the asshole. My dad did the same thing to me. Guess what? We don't talk anymore. Trying to control your daughter is a surefire way of losing her. Her work is being displayed in an exhibition. If it were my daughter I would be sure to have front row seats. If you keep this up you're gonna lose your daughter. Apologize and start listening to what she wants. What her hopes and dreams are, then become her biggest cheerleader. You are the asshole. She lied to you because she knew you'd be judgmental, cruel and unsupportive. What's wrong with wanting to major in something that she loves? Instead of being happy that her work was chosen to be in an exhibition and celebrating her, you were furious. That tells me a lot about you. I'm so over parents that would rather their children be miserable just to please them and stroke their ego, than living a happy life that fulfills them. You are the asshole. My son majored in computer graphics and animation. Along the way he learned coding and now makes six figures. What's more important are those skills you learn along the way and apply. What's in the degree is not as important as having a degree. You are the asshole in every way, shape and form. It's very telling how when you describe the situation you repeatedly make the statements, "I want," and "I wanted," when referencing your daughter's future career. This may be difficult for you to understand, but her choices for her future are not about you. Please try to get over yourself so that perhaps, you can salvage a future relationship with your daughter. As it stands right now you are demonstrating yourself to be incredibly selfish and pompous, and your behavior may cause irreparable damage to your relationship with your daughter. Good luck, I hope you figure it out. You are the asshole. College is for exploring, expanding, and developing oneself intellectually, academically and holistically. Let your daughter find herself, major, and future. You probably have good intentions as a parent, but she's old enough to make her own decisions. Info. I can't help think there's a cultural component to this post. As a child of Asian parents, I'm aware of how much emphasis some cultures place on certain professions and majors.